And we have the Pocahontas Redskins on stage. Coach, glad to have you guys here today. If you would, just introduce your players and give an opening statement about the upcoming football season.
I got Derek Kimball. He's going to be our starting running back this year. Got Lane Looney. He's going to be a 3-year starter at wide receiver. And Bradley Baltz returns at offensive tackle and defensive end. All three of these guys are seniors, done a tremendous job, leaders on our football team. As far as we're just looking forward to this football season, working extremely hard, just trying to get better every day.
If you would, let's first talk about the offense, and then we'll talk a little bit about the defense.
Okay, offensively, I think we got 7 back on offense, 3 returning starters on the offensive line with Bradley. We got him coming back. Jace Clark at guard, Skylar Burrow at tackle. All 3 of those guys played all last year. Looking to fill in with a 320-pound sophomore at center with Jason Miller, and Gunnar Matthews will probably step in and play the right guard position. Pretty much got all of our skill positions back, starting with our quarterback, Dawson Chester. Dawson was in and out a lot last year with some injuries. He's gotten, I think he's put on 10 to 15 pounds since last season, and is still fast as he ever was. Derek was injured last year. He was out with an ACL injury. He's come back and he's stronger and faster, and he's done an extremely good job leading our football team. He's looked good in camps this summer. Lane Looney's our starting wide receiver. He'll be backed up by Charlie White. We're too deep there. Other inside receivers, Michael Martins. He'll play our wide position right along with Kanan Fletcher. The other wide receiver is C.J. Palmer. C.J. went out last year with a shoulder injury, and he's back, and he's doing really good. Nash Toney will also play in there at the X position. And then we got Brian Lim, who will also play some running back, and Jackson Nichols will also play some running back. So that's an area, our skill positions, we feel like we have a lot of depth, probably not as much depth on the offensive line as what we'd like to have.
Coach, you're kind of coming off uncharted territory, a losing record last year, which is very negative, especially for Pocahontas, but you seem to use that as a positive. How have you developed that into a positive attitude with this year's team?
Well, first of all, we were a very young football team last year, and then we got injured. I think we had 6 injuries to 9 different positions, and that's awful hard to overcome. Very proud of that football team, that they stayed together, they continued to work, no drama, those things. Felt like we had a very tough non-conference schedule, and Nettleton and Batesville Southside and Paragould, and we scrimmaged Valley View. And then our conference was as tough as it's ever been. So you take a combination of being young, a tough conference, tough non-conference schedule, and then throw the injuries in there. And but it's advantage us. We're better off for it. You know, like I said, we have 8 back on defense and 7 back on offense. So, we went through some adversity. We went through it together, and I really do. I think it's going to help us this year.
Talking to any of the players, any of y'all grab the mic and talk about the challenges ahead, because you have a pretty comparable schedule this year. A lot of challenges as far as schedule. Injuries are a thing of the past. We're not going to get hurt again. But specifically, what challenges do y'all face as individuals this year? Just left to right. Start with offensive line. You know I'm partial to that.
Well, I think our non-conference schedule is going to be a real big challenge this year. We got Batesville Southside and then Nettleton again this year, and followed up by Paragould. But I think that will help us grow as a team this year coming into the season, and help us prepare us for the playoffs too later in the year, hopefully.
He talked a little bit about non-conference. Talk to us about what you expect to see against the conference opponents.
I'm excited for this year against the conference. Like Rivercrest, we're excited to play them again. And I think it's going to be a tight run, but I think we're prepared for it. And we had a lot of young guys last year, and we've all grown and come together as a team to know that it's not just about yourself. Like we all know everybody's grown up and everybody plays for each other now. And I think we're going to be a whole new team.
Just keep passing it down. We'll talk a little bit. What does it mean to be a Redskin? I'm old school. I'm Dave Williams. And I'm from that era of football. Pocahontas has great tradition. Talk to us about that, your expectations, and what it means to be a Redskin.
It means a whole lot. What it really means, it means we really work hard, and nobody's gonna be tougher than us. I mean, we come out on that field, and we're gonna come in and play the game.
So, question for your any of the players here. Lane, I'll start with you. Coming into your senior season, it's your last go around, last time to put on the uniform and everything. Is your outlook maybe a little bit different, knowing that this is your last chance to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish individually and as a team?
Yes, I've always played as hard as I could, but there's definitely a different outlook coming into knowing that this is the last year you're going to get to do it. And probably the last time you'll ever put on a uniform. It makes it a lot different, means a lot more, and I think it'll make us play a lot harder. I'm really excited.
So, Coach, I'm looking through the Hootens book here, and it lists one of your strengths as linebacker position. Can you talk to me a little bit about your linebackers?
Yes, starts with Xavier Taylor, our Mike linebacker. He'll be a junior this year. He started last year as a sophomore, started every game for us. He's kind of the leader on our defense. Nobody works harder, and honestly, one of the toughest kids I've ever coached. Rob Mason plays right there beside him at the inside linebacker position. Extremely disciplined, plays downhill, also one of the toughest kids I've ever coached. Outside, you have Brian Lim, who was as a sophomore, he's going to be a senior this year, but as a sophomore, he was a 300-meter state champion, 300-meter hurdle state champion. Started every game for us last year at outside linebacker, and I feel like he's really fixing to have a really good senior year, extremely quick. And then got Kanan Fletcher. Kanan's put on about 15, 20 pounds this offseason. He's going to be a junior. Has worked. I don't know if anybody's had a better offseason than what Kanan has. I don't know if anybody's worked as hard as what Kanan has worked this offseason. So I really feel like our linebackers, both inside and outside, is most definitely a strength of our football program.
Coach, I'm going to ask every one of these opposing coaches the same question today. But,
Okay.
The top 5 teams in this conference, including yourself, Rivercrest, Westside, Truman, and Gosnell, I mean, last year it was a 4-team race up to the very end, and you throw you guys in there now this year. Those top 5, I mean, it's very competitive.
I love it. Yes, it is. Truman has probably done as good as anybody in our conference of developing their players. You can tell immediately when you walk on the field that they've been in the weight room year-round. They're extremely confident in what they do. You can see that, and then they've had some success, a tremendous amount of success within the conference the last couple of years, and just feel like they're extremely well coached. Gosnell, they're always going to be tough. I know they have a first-year head coach, and there's going to be some transitions there. Probably one of the more physical teams we played last year in conference was Westside. We were talking on the way up here, who's the team you really want to beat? And one of them said, hey, that's the team we really need to beat. We play them early in conference, and so Westside has really come a long way. And then you have Rivercrest, who's probably, in my opinion, one of the better football programs in the whole state of Arkansas, not just in our conference. Extremely well coached, but the tradition that they have there is really unprecedented. And they came out last year and had a really good quarterback and a really good running back, and they did a lot of good things against us, and we're looking forward to playing them again. So,
If you would, Coach, just give a closing statement, please.
felt like these guys have worked extremely hard this year. Looking forward to the football season. Got a tough conference, tough non-conference schedule. Felt like probably since I've been here, this will be my 6th year, maybe the most overall speed we've had since I've been there. I think it's definitely a strength of this football team, and possibly we'll see, but one of the closest groups that we've had.